Hi, welcome to the Schmoedown replay. I'm your host, Christopher Walken. I'm just kidding with the Cinefanatics. My name's Chris Adams.
And I'm Robert Adams. That's a great way to start this. Again, it's Stream Tuesday, so here is stream number 2 for tonight. Just got done with the tagline. Had a lot of fun on there. If you missed that, it's on this channel. Just go back and watch it later because we're live now and you want to watch us now.
It's just, when this is done, then go back and watch that one, and then you'll be good to go for caught up on all things Cinefanatics for the night.
Yeah. Tonight, Schmoedown replay, it's Jader Paramo versus Tom.
It's the Hurricane versus
Jader Paramo.
Tom. No, he's not fighting himself.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was writing up the description of this. Like, this big, huge storm is taking on the Hurricane Jader Paramo.
I mean, otherwise, that's the Enigma. Tom is the Enigma, apparently.
Yeah.
It's not an official nickname, but it works. I like it.
Yeah. So real quick at the top of this, those of y'all that are watching this live, let us know you're here. Sound off in the chat. Make sure you do subscribe to this channel. My brother and I have not seen this yet, so please no spoilers in the chat. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, you can also drop those through the Streamlabs, which the link is down in the description and also up above my brother's head. There's also patreon.com/cinefanatics if you want to join that. This weekend, we will be doing a watch along for Iron Man 2 if you are on the $10 tier, so make sure to hit that up. If you
watched the tagline, you would have seen us come to that conclusion that Iron Man 2 is the watch along we're going to be doing.
You would have seen how that thought process works in real time. Again, we haven't seen this match, so please no spoilers in the chat. If you do want to spoil it, though, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics for all your spoilery needs. That being said, we do know that there's potentially some shenanigans going on in this match.
Some crazy shenanigans.
We little shenanigans. Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant with all that weird stuff on the walls?
Mandingo?
What? Where did you pull that one at?
I don't know. It was in the recesses of my head for some reason.
Oh, good Lord. Let's make sure you never get movie quotes as a wheel slice.
I know what the quote is. I just wanted to throw you off.
Well, stop throwing me off, meow. So, again, if y'all have any questions, again, with that look, God. Can't stand that look. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Questions, guys. So we got Jader Paramo versus Tom right now. This is going to be an interesting one because Jader is the rookie phenom. Can we say that about him? I guess so. He got the golden ticket in Orlando. We know the whole story. He's here.
Yeah, that's a safe, unoffensive word.
Phenom, yeah. He's here. He was on his match with us last time. This time he's going up against Tom. And Tom is someone that has been around for over a year now. Over a year. Probably over a year and a half. And we still know next to nothing about the guy.
Yeah. What I do want to clarify real quick, because this was something that came across my mind earlier when doing the description. So I'm going to take this very serious for a second. When writing out the description for this, when posting this on social media, I know I did play this as having a hurricane theme because Jader's nickname is the Hurricane. Jader is also from Florida, which as of right now is, I guess, being hit with the hurricane that's coming through. I guess it's heading its way towards Louisiana. So our thoughts and prayers go out with the people who are in Florida right now that are having to deal with the hurricane. If any of y'all have anything you need to reach out on, please reach out to us on social media. We're here to talk if you need it. But yeah, just I want to make sure, given the light of the current situation, we are in hurricane season here. So I don't want to make too much of a light of it, but I mean, Jader's name is the Hurricane for that specific reason, because he's from Florida and that's where hurricanes tend to go. So just saying.
So it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, you got Jader, you got Tom. Jader's been proving himself. He knows his stuff. Tom has absolutely proven himself. We absolutely know that Tom knows his stuff. So I don't know. Who do we got on this one?
as fans ourselves, I want to side with the fan.
Of course.
Because Jader's been doing a fantastic job. I feel like Tom, though, has been proven just a little bit more. Not by much, but just a little bit.
Tom is a powerhouse of knowledge.
Yeah. So the question I come down to is like potential, like the strategy. Tom has only been playing this for like a couple of times last year, a couple of times this year. I'm not 100% exactly how his strategy is down as far as how to play this game. Jader, on the other hand, is a fan. He's been a fan for a while. Most of the fans come into this with a pretty good idea of how this game runs. So therefore, they've got the strategy. Most fans coming from, like, say, he was just a straight fan plucked from the audience, but other fans that come in from the fan leagues or from Reactor after shows typically have a good idea of how this is run. It's more of just they need the movie knowledge to come in, which is Tom's strength. So yeah, it might come down to one person knows the strategy while the other person has an encyclopedic knowledge of movies. I'm still going to edge out Tom just a little because that's what this is. This is a movie trivia game. Your knowledge of movie trivia is hopefully what's going to win matches.
Yeah.
Strategy just kind of helps get there, but
yeah,
so that's what I think.
I think it's going to be Tom on this one. He's got a lot of knowledge. But again, like the heart says, hey, would not be upset with a upset from Jader. Because,
oh, yeah,
you love to see that happen. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this. I don't think we got anything else to cover there. I mean, you got Droogs versus Den. We'll see how Ken handles himself, but we know that Kate's going to bring some funny, so I'm excited to see the promo here.
Yep.
Wah! Yabba! I'm trying to find a clever way of doing sound effects.
Well, when I can attach my little fun streaming toy to StreamYard, once it actually works, that'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, what's Mark's name this week?
Hello, ladies and
Ernest P. Worrell.
Jen! Okay. At first I was like, oh, apparently his name's Jen, but he is actually on here too. Jen! We haven't seen Jen in a while.
Carrots, Ellis, and Jen today.
Oh, I'm so happy.
What a matchup we have. Jader the Hurricane
So happy to see Jen.
Paramo versus the man known as Tom. Maybe he isn't even a man. Maybe he's a mystery.
Ernest P. Worrell.
I'm not sure what to make.
You know what I mean, Vern?
Thus, I'm not sure what to make of this matchup. How about you?
Hey, look, all great legends can just go by one name, right? So Tom may be just setting us up for the greatness that is him. But what about Jader? Because
Madonna,
we saw him
Beyonce,
get picked out of the crowd in Orlando, and now he's
Aristotle.
here. He's in the singles tournament and making an absolute run for it. So I cannot wait to see what happens next. And neither can my cat.
We got Kat. We hopefully have an appearance from Kevin the Wonder Dog, Molly's soon-to-be boyfriend here any minute now. But when we look at that Orlando evening, there was magic in the air for Jader Paramo because since then, he has gone on to boast a 2-0 record. He won his first-round match, obviously, and he's got another win under his belt this season. So, well, he may not be
the win against Vevita was actually very impressive.
Winning, Jen, and he beats a force like Tom because whatever you want to say about Tom, whatever phylum you want to classify him as, he knows a lot about. I don't know if he watches the movies. He knows a lot about the trivia they are in, and he is a force.
Garth
Jader
in
this tournament.
Tom
I love that.
Forces that's absolutely
That's just clever. I love that.
To reckon with him, and he has this capacity to pull out these deep pulls that someone of his age, I mean, we don't know how old he actually is, but his appearing age would be, he shouldn't know those
I
things.
really
Like,
miss
he has
seeing
to be
Jen
preparing
this
for these matches,
season.
in my opinion.
Well, if we want to take it to the Disney route and they own everything, right?
Luckily, she's got an after show now on SEN Network with Brad Gilmore, The Boat.
Yeah. With Tom, we don't know what sort of Disney.
It's actually more of like a pre-show, really.
Yeah. Sleeping Beauty
coming up next.
Be one of the fairy godmothers, but we know either way
it's
going to be a matchup for the ages, and the winner gets to go to the
name of their
Elite
show.
8. But we're not done with the conversation just yet.
Their show's coming up next.
Their factions have been
soon
talking. You have Ken Knapsack taking over for the Burning
technically
for the rest of this season, going up against
sometime after this show is done.
Kate Mulligan and Grace Hancock.
Maybe not immediately.
Elias, You have
Who's on first?
Sock. You have.
I don't know what's on second.
Her great accent. What do you make of the managerial
I don't know.
war of words
Third
that you've
base.
seen so far this week?
I don't think we're going to be able to get 2 words in edgewise.
I
Mark.
love that bit. It's my favorite comedy bit of all time.
Well, before we welcome the managers in, as always, the great Eric Nerd Chronic put together a stellar promo.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not already hyped up for this, man, just wait.
Kevin likes older women, I guess. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
big start here, beating someone like Iacovetta. That's an impressive win, as you now find yourself 2-0. You got either Tim Franco or Tom. Do you have a preference?
Regardless, I gotta face them, right? So whatever may.
Are we friends? Jader.
God, this music.
Well, hello, Schmoedown friends. You ready for some inspiring words? Well, here's some inspiring words. I just got my Schmoedown paycheck. All right. We eat tonight.
Ah, she looks good today. Oh, it's that. Okay.
This is
Looking good, Kate.
You want to talk about character and knowledge all in one package? This was a textbook display of how to do it for this particular character.
He's a force. He's still a force, man. Don't let that Tom and Paul match from earlier this season fool you. The man is still a force.
They scored
Before I was
32
part of the
points.
Movie Schmoedown, I remember the introduction with, the Louis bin. And I thought to myself, why are they having a Halloween episode played in July?
Let's talk about Jader Paramo going up against Tom. Listen, I think we all know how this one's going to end. Tom winning, Jader losing, and crying. Jader's one that cries a lot, right? I don't know. I'm not going to fact check that.
Here you got Jader the Hurricane Paramo, seeking glory, seeking the next step forward in his journey. And I'm here to support him, and I believe in him. I'm fully in the corner of Jader Paramo. But at the same token,
This song's
got
good.
nothing against Tom. I actually like Tom. And Tom's entertaining. And Tom's really smart.
Jader, your name sounds like space. I want to be friends like Scott Wolf. I'm a big fan of Weird. He's definitely an oddball, but we all know in this tournament, oddballs can't be underestimated. Can we be friends?
Look at this. Your time is up. It's going to take a while, but your time is up.
Fans, we're here fighting with their lowered expectations.
I've got my eye on the prize, and like the eye of the hurricane, I'm calm. All I see now is getting around 3. You have to tell me if you're from space. Those are the rules of space. The den is about to see another dead body.
It's just movie trivia, guys.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jen,
I like how
you
Garth
set
said it for us. We don't even have to bring up the banner this time.
Yeah.
Promo, and we'll see. Once we
Look, bring up the banner and highlight a comment in the chat. 2 birds, 1 stone. Thanks, Garth. Oh, if you're going to do it too.
Both parties.
I can't do it at the same time.
The individuals who are trying to make a run to the Final Four and maybe win the tournament. It's also the factions.
There's only so much space in that lower thirds there.
Guys, StreamYard can only do so much.
I think that this is one of those
Like
matches
broadcasting
that's going to
720.
really determine where
Yeah.
these teams end up. Just because the further
Our
obviously
computers
you
can
get
do
in the
1080, but
tournament,
okay.
the more points you're going to rack up. It's just common sense.
Oh, no, you
math.
have
And
to
I'm
pay
not
more
that great
money.
at it, but I can even
Oh,
put
yeah,
that
yeah.
together.
By the way, if you want to see us in 1080p glory, feel free to donate to streamlabs.com/cinefanatics, and we will look better on camera.
That's true.
It'll still be our same ugly faces. You'll just see it a lot clearer.
I do have a zit on this side of my head right now. You can see it very clearly
if we were in 1080
over on
when they
Patreon.
need it the most. Well,
Yeah, if
now
we're
it is time
1080.
to welcome in the managerial representatives of each faction. That is Ken Knapsack.
Oh,
yes.
I forgot about this.
So, welcome in, Kate. You look a little confused. Is everything okay?
Yes.
Oh no, this is just my resting face.
All right, good to
See a
go. And then
resting Kate face.
I'm excited right
stick
now.
with the
Hold
Den
on.
here for
Hold
a
on.
second before Jen talks to Ken. What do you make of the managing style that you need to employ with Tom? Because you got to think it's different than anyone else in your faction, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the great thing about Tom is that he's hardly living on the physical plane. So he doesn't get nervous. He doesn't deal with a lot of things that a lot of the other players might deal with. And also, I mean, there's nothing terrifying about a pink hoodie. So we're just resting pretty easy today, Mark.
Jen, she mentioned the pink hoodie, and I know that that's going to fuel Ken's fire a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. Ken, how are you doing over there? How are you feeling going into this match?
How do you feel on the other side of the house?
Jennifer. It's good to see you again. Good to have you on here with the airwaves. Look, I don't know what to say to Grace about my pink hoodie. She picked it out from that TJ Maxx. I adore Kate. I know Kate. Before Grace came into my life, I used to troll PTA meetings looking for soccer moms who wanted to try a different snack at halftime at the soccer game. All right. I know Kate. I know her well. I know how I can get inside her head and take her out of this game as far as the factor is. But we're not looking about all that stuff. You could throw all the slings and arrows at me, an interim coach. By the way, the best interim coach since Wayne Fonts in 1988 for the Detroit Lions. All right. And that worked out 4 seasons later. So I'm happy to be here.
Grace is like, here he goes talking about sports again.
With a 2-1 record with my
It's a
Washington.
movie trivia show.
This would be a huge win for the Burning
With a little bit of sports trivia.
Someone to get into that final.
Yeah,
four,
if you're
maybe
talking
win
about the movie
championship.
The Replacement
Do you
starring
think
Keanu
Jader
Reeves and
has
Gene
his
Hackman,
ready
absolutely.
at this young age in his career?
I wouldn't be wearing the pink hoodie if I didn't believe Jader was worth it. All right, this is a game day hoodie, plucked from obscurity in a humid crowd.
What from
in Orlando,
obscurity?
and now thrust into the spotlight. I am so proud of what he's done already, and we absolutely are confident he'll move forward. But here's the thing. We have respect for Tom. You have to have respect for Tom. I respect anyone who is probably a vampire and has probably murdered cats behind an alley, but I also respect him as a writer. I respect him as a trivia competitor. We want the best to prove we're the best, and we're excited to be here today.
A lot of people, obviously, they associate Tom with how he came into the league with Video Drew. How do you intend to kind of help guide him through this match and get him ready to essentially take on Jader? Because like I said, a lot of us associate him and his success previously with Video Drew. So it's like, how have you been able to form that relationship with him where he trusts your decisions in these type of situations?
Honest to God, I don't know if he does trust me. We've spoken very few words, but we've got a plan for this particular match. Okay, first of all, I think Tom's a star on his own. So that's A of all. Okay, now B of all, we know that Tom, he can sort of go off. We don't even know whose house he's filming from ever. So we've come up with a list of catchphrases today. That setting off the fireworks last time didn't go well in my house. So we've got some catchphrases we think we're going to be able to get his attention. For example, a ghost, a roadkill. Ghost roadkill, something like that, and he'll be able to focus right in. So that's our plan for today.
All right, seems like a interesting, well thought out, if nothing else, strategy. Well, we bid adieu to the managers for now, but we'll be hearing from them during the matches as they come in between rounds to coach their players a little bit more. Jen,
Streamlabs to see all their blemishes. People have flaws. You see our greatness along with our flaws at the same time. And
I
don't know where I was going with that.
People have flaws, and we're just trying to monetize ours.
Same way. I feel that all of these managers are essentially wild cards as well. So
I lost a team's match on Sunday because the other team actually knew the name of the school and Remember the Titans. What is the name of the school in Remember the Titans?
I don't know. I wasn't highlighting his comment on purpose. Because I can't remember.
The only one I remember is like Permian, but I think that was Friday Night Lights.
If you give me like more time than a movie trivia Schmoedown question, I can think of it.
The door is locked.
Okay, Tom. I hope that.
Does he know it's a virtual studio?
Yeah, I think, Jen, that lock may be for his own safety. Tom, hello. Mark Ellis, Baby Carrots here. Are you aware that you're about to partake in movie trivia combat?
Which part of the house are you in?
I'll be near you.
I checked every room. I didn't see you.
Okay, Jen, it's all yours.
Tom, how are you feeling going into this match day against Jader?
Oh,
I'm hungry.
Oh, for a win. He's hungry for
Yes.
a win, but Tom, to get that win, you're going to have to go through Jader, the Hurricane Paramo. What have you studied about your opponent?
I'm hungry for whatever isn't moving anymore.
Seems like a safe way to consume food, actually. Okay, well, Tom, we're going to put you in the waiting room. You don't have to go anywhere. We're just going to put you, thank you.
I'm going to be honest, like trying to establish a YouTube channel, it's seeing people like this at the top of their game, essentially. That is inspiring to be able to have that kind of.
But the fans are going to be entertained, if nothing else. And his opponent, with a record of 2 wins, 0 defeats, the singles division of the movie trivia
My back itches.
Schmoedown, representing the Burning Grooves.
This isn't working.
Jader, the Hurricane.
Oh, there it goes. Now it works.
How's it going, guys?
So great to see you.
Jader. Jader, I hope you're staying safe down there in Florida. It's great to have you virtually in today. We were asking Tom how he feels about going up against the Hurricane. So I do have to ask the Hurricane, how do you prepare for an entity like Tom?
You hunker down.
Trust me, man. I've been trying to study his tapes, man. Shows no weakness, man. So I got to bring my best game as well. I basically try to just study every type of.
That is a glorious amount of facial hair,
I'm
though.
hitting the books hard, man. I'm ready for this.
It's very
What's it been
full
like working with
and
Kim
bushy.
Maxoff during this whole process?
Like this. This
You know,
is
who
like
knows what
this
works
feels like
best?
when you jump into a pile of hay. For those of y'all from Texas or the South or so, if you're familiar with hay, that's what this feels like. His looks like it's like soft and
Emails. It's been fantastic.
cushiony.
But
Is
overall,
there a
like I
needle
said,
in your beard?
I've been hitting the books. So working with Ken has been great. He'll throw me a couple questions here and
I
there.
don't know.
And he's like, "You're ready
Can't
to go,
find
man.
it if
You don't
there
need
is.
me.
Oh, it's so hard to do that.
Jader, I think the talk on the street about you being a Cinderella story has subsided just in terms
Be here all
of
week.
you belonging in the league. You clearly have proven
Literally,
your worth.
we're
I'll be here all week.
A
This
win
is my
over
bedroom.
Tom today and advancing to the Elite Eight would once and
literally
for all
not going
solidify
anywhere.
You as
There's
not
still
only
a
somebody who
pandemic.
belongs in the league, but possibly a Rookie of the Year contender, as one of the better players that the Schmoedown has.
I 100%. No disrespect to anybody.
Scratch that itch.
Or to
Give the
David.
pass a slip.
They were both worthy contenders, but I feel
Now whip it, whip it good.
like,
I knew where you were trying to hit with that.
I'm a fan.
I
Like
think it's
said,
actually crack that whip and not scratch that itch. But I just any excuse to sing Devo's whip it, I'll take.
Didn't think I was going to end up playing the man so fast.
Well, considering sending money to these Spies gens.
Like I said last time, come whatever may.
Oh yeah,
the job's not over yet, you know, and I'm going to keep going until.
Really, like when he busts that thing out, his cat gets
All
excited
right,
too.
well,
So
that
I'm
is
just
Jader
saying.
Paramo. Jader going to toss you in the waiting room. just
that's
for-
actually like real quick behind the scenes. That's not a joke. She actually really loves my back scratcher because she like.
In round
Yeah, she
number
does.
one,
If you've ever seen the Garfield Christmas special, the back scratcher thing that Garfield makes for Odie, that's this to my cat.
That's a pole.
In round one,
It is.
It's a deep cut now.
By the incredible Jen Sturger. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing, at least not in round number one. As soon as you hear the question, you have
Hey, look,
15
whiteboards.
seconds to write your best attempt at an answer with whatever utensil you have handy on whatever writing surface you prefer. Tom, your hands, I guess, will be just fine. I'll remind each competitor of your 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. You're not sure you heard a question right. You want to buy yourself 15 more seconds. JTE rule. You also each have one challenge to
Cat
utilize
scratch
at any
fever.
point throughout the
What are you
3 round
doing?
match. You may
Trying
initiate
not
the
to sing a
challenge,
song
and
that
then
will get our
your
live stream like shut down immediately.
challenge.
Well, it's
is
been fun, guys. We haven't been able to answer any questions yet, but you know, hey,
if you're not
there you go.
answering a question, all that good stuff. And
Had
with
to
that,
sing.
Jen, I think they're ready to go, but I do need to ask the question. So, Jader, are you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Tom, you ready to? Then let's get ready to start.
All right, gentlemen, for your first question in round number
It's
one.
so
In the
simple,
first
but it works so well.
Love it.
Mockingjay parts 1 and 2 are entries in what franchise?
All right, 15 seconds. And,
Something that I
again,
am right
living the
now.
Sweet life up there. on
Yeah,
the
that
third.
reminds me. I would like some food.
Well, way less footsteps, but I'm sure our downstairs neighbors love Kevin when he's playing.
3,
around.
I'm a
2,
maze runner, by the way.
1. Pens down.
Ugh.
Tom, going to you first.
It was
Did you
not
have
a
the
good
answer?
movie.
The Hunger Games.
Correct for a point. How about Jader?
It's Hunger Games.
He got it as well.
Yeah,
So
Hunger
jumping
Games.
off-
Yeah, it looked like Tom actually wrote the Hungry Games.
Fantastic, guys. Your second question in round 1 comes in the category of comic book movies. Question is, how many times has Christopher Reeve played Superman?
Ooh, I do love that question. Speaking of Superman, Kevin, the Wonder Dog, he's yours, right? Because I know you do such great work adopting and kind of like
True
housing-
story.
The thing
True
is, here's the
story,
thing.
though,
Like
Mark.
in my mind, I'm trying to think: could this potentially be a twist question? Is there any other? Like, do we count the Richard Donner cut as a completely separate movie? So therefore, that would change the number.
That is correct. And Tom,
The answer's
you're holding
no.
up numbers, but let's see
No.
if you got the answer. He does have the
Yeah.
answer. 2-2.
4.
And they're feeling it so far.
All right, moving along, gentlemen. Your third question in round number 1 comes in the category of dramas. Alfonso Cuarón directed this 2018 film about a maid living in Mexico City during the 1970s.
I was wondering if this
And
question of this movie would ever come up.
Animals, but you just wonder.
Wait, I
what
forgot what it's called,
your apartment.
and I love this movie.
Wait,
Kevin,
seriously?
what do you think?
Yeah, I completely forgot what it's called. I'm blanking on the name,
Being completely
and I
honest.
loved this movie. It was
Company
so
don't need
good.
your hand. 3,
I don't know.
1. Pens down.
Oh, I
Tom,
feel so bad.
Going to you first. Take your hand out of your mouth and the answer.
Roma.
Yes.
There you go, buddy. And how about Jader?
Roma.
He had it too. He got 2 perfect
Roma.
rounds after 3 questions.
Almost-
Very good movie. Very good.
Roma,
All right,
not
guys,
Rona.
Going
That's
into your fourth
very
question of
different.
round number 1 comes in the category of directors. Who directed the 2005 film Sin
Oh, yeah.
City?
Saw this in the theater. One of the first films I saw when I moved to Los Angeles.
Me too. I was in college.
being
If
from
you
Austin,
don't get this,
I think I was on a really bad
being
day.
from Austin, Texas,
Get it, Jen.
We don't-
I lived within walking distance of his studio.
2, 1.
Yep.
Pens down. And we go to Jader first for this answer.
Robert Rodriguez.
Correct for a point. And how about Tom?
Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller and Quentin Tarantino.
Thank you for all
Robert
the-
Rodriguez.
Get them all.
All right.
That's a good point.
Are you good, Mark?
I'm good. I'm hanging in. So let's keep this train of going.
That
All right,
should be a
guys, moving on
challenge.
to Question number 5 comes
Actually.
in the category of fantasy sci-fi. Who plays Trinity in the Matrix series?
Against all odds, we have
what's her name?
2 perfect rounds going. So if these gentlemen continue it, we are going to have
Mark,
question.
Mark, you don't talk about no.
Oh.
You of all people should know
5,
this.
4.
I'm blanking on her name.
2, 1. Pens down. Tom, back to you for the answer.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Yep.
Correct for a point. Did
Yep.
Jader have it?
Carrie Ann Moss.
There's still
There goes my perfect.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Trying to
There goes my
chase
perfect
them.
round.
Dude, I'm kind of dumbfounded that even I didn't think
All
of
right,
that.
guys, your 6th question of round number 1 comes in the category of comedies. Awesome. All right, guys.
Ha!
Which
Well done.
comedian starred in the 2010s comedy Think Like a Man, About Last Night, and Get Hard?
Okay, so Pat Summerall did my favorite announcer curse because in '98, Gary Anderson, he said he was automatic from this range. He missed the kick, and the Vikings don't go to the Super Bowl. Heartbreaker.
But so on brand for the Vikings, if we're being honest, Mark.
Especially 3, 2,
Yeah.
1. Pens down, gentlemen. Jader, going to you first. What do you have?
Kevin Hart.
He's still perfect. Tom, over to you.
Oh, nope. Oops.
Will Ferrell.
I said Will Ferrell also.
Kevin Hart.
That is not the correct answer. So
We did all
Jader
three,
draws
unfortunately.
first blood here, Jen, and he still has a perfect round with 2 questions left.
Question number 7 and round number 1 comes in the category of horror thriller. Which actor stars in a dual role in the psychological thriller Enemy?
Oh no.
I am looking forward to Halloween coming up. Even though we aren't going to get like a real Halloween, at least we'll get to watch all those scary movies, right?
I know you're big Universal Horror Nights, and I'm just not that person at all.
Yeah. Why?
4. I got to count down.
don't know
3.
this one.
Scary cat.
All right. 1.
Yeah, I don't
Pens
know.
down. Tom, going to you.
I don't know where to begin.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Correct. He's back on the
Oh.
right answering train. Does Jader have it?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
He does. And so it is 7-6.
I had
Jen.
no clue. I don't even think I've heard of that movie.
The final category of round number 1 is going to be in the world of animated movies. And if Jader gets it right, he could have a really good round.
And a shot at a bonus. So, all right, guys, your number 8 question, your final question in round number 1, comes in the category of animated. What 2007 animated film involves a boy named Lewis, a brilliant inventor who ends up time traveling to the future?
I didn't want to say the P word because you reprimanded me, so I said a really good round. So, but Tom's having a really good round too. So I don't know how to do this. 4. Everything I learned about announcing is wrong. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Jader for a perfect round.
Meet the Robinsons.
Oh.
Boy, that is unfortunately correct for a perfect round.
Oh,
wow.
And I've seen that, and I didn't remember that's what it was.
Meet the
Did the same
Robinsons.
last time.
He did, and so Tom has Meet the Robinsons just a hair off that.
Meet the
perfect
Robinsons.
round, but now Jader
Good job.
has to take a 2-point lead into round 2 if he can get the bonus question. Jader, this question is just to you, so you don't have to write it down. You just give us the answer within 15 seconds, and Jen is going to be administering it for a point.
Nice.
All right, Jader, here is your bonus
It's a good round for me.
Who plays the lead role of Frank Drebin
Yeah.
in The Naked Gun, Files of the Police Squad?
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. Yeah.
Correct for a point. I pray to God if there's.
It's
ever
like
an
every
answer
time I
you
say his
can
first
remember,
name, I
say
want to
from
follow
the
it with
Files of
man,
Police
and that's a
Squad,
completely
but
different
we'll
person.
cross that bridge when we get there. And Jader Paramo,
Leslie
the
Mann.
Hurricane,
No, it's not
has a
Leslie Mann.
Perfect round 1 and takes a 9-7 lead into round number 2. Jen, thoughts on what we just saw? Both gentlemen, very different intros and personalities, but both stellar competitors here early on.
Well, I think it was a stellar round by both of them. You know, if Tom hadn't missed that one, he potentially could have gotten the bonus.
Yeah,
as well.
if,
So it's still a
if
very,
the
very
Den
tight
challenged
game, and I
it-
think it's anyone's game going into the
If the
second
Den
round, because
challenged
we all
it,
know
they'd be tied.
The wheel determines your fate a lot of
Yeah.
times in matches.
Because
It is
Jader wouldn't have gotten
destiny,
the
it is
bonus.
justice, and it is the wheel that is going to be spun for round at number 2. Here are the rules. Each competitor gets a spin at that thar wheel. Once you settle on a category, 4 questions will be asked in that particular genre.
So that's
Each question is worth
interesting.
2 points. There is no penalty for missing a question. However,
I mean,
stealing is available.
I'm counting
in
it
round
for us
number 2, so if
also.
you're not sure of the answer, ask us for
'Cause-
multiple choice.
Yeah.
He was the director, but
But I mean, I'll kick myself for not knowing that.
So Tom with a stellar 7
For not knowing it or not
point round number
remembering it?
1, but he does
Not
have-
knowing the full answer for
Paramo.
that.
Now we bring in the managers of each squad.
The question is,
Come on in here.
is it
There's
is it
Vanessa,
actually
there is
necessary to
Kate Mulligan,
have
and Grace
all 3 of them on
Hancock.
there?
So, Jader, you have the
Yes.
first decision to make in
Because
round
Frank Miller did have a hand in Sin City, and there was one scene of Sin City that Quentin Tarantino directed for $1. It was the Jackie Boy talking to Clive Owen in the car.
I always.
I don't know if directing a scene really counts for who directed the movie.
Don't believe the hype of your own perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know if I count that.
Dangerous, so I don't want you to sit back and be comfortable.
That's a
with what your
formality.
heart telling you. You tell me.
I'm going to defer.
Gonna defer. Okay.
Yeah.
I trust you. Do it.
Yeah. All right, so Jader defers, and now Tom is going to get a spin of the wheel. Before he does that, he has 60 seconds to talk it over with his managerial team from the Den. It's all yours.
Okay, I'm just going to lay out some facts here, first of all. And no one can edit this out because this is us talking. So, fact number 1.
That's the thing. Would you answer only one Russo brother for their movies?
You're right, Frank. Frank
No,
Miller's
because
part
both
of
have an
that.
equal share
Sorry
of
about
directing
that,
the
I dropped
movie.
ball. Secondly,
Which, if you go back and you watch the movies, I think they're actually credited as the Russo brothers, not necessarily the individual brothers.
Yeah,
much
they're
like
usually always
out of this if I just
much like Matrix is credited to the Wachowskis.
Yep.
You're doing great, and I'm really sorry about what's already happened.
Coen brothers.
Will the wheel fit in my mouth?
Okay, Tom.
No,
you know
Tom.
what?
No.
Okay, all
I
right,
know.
here we
I went with Robert Rodriguez right off the bat again because I lived within walking distance of his studio, so I'm familiar. That's where Sin City was shot. I have friends that are in Sin City.
do it, buddy. Let's spin that wheel, Tommy.
Yeah.
10 seconds here.
But
here comes the wheel.
That's primarily what I completely brain fart. I forgot about the Frank Miller Tarantino part.
Good job, Tom. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
wow,
for all intents and purposes.
Okay, we get it. We get it.
It is comedic legend Eddie Murphy. So Tom,
Covered it. Move on.
Would you like to have Eddie Murphy?
Well, I mean, I think like Rodriguez lost his Directors Guild card or membership because of that.
Move on.
Have you heard of Eddie Murphy before?
Yes.
Moving on.
So, do you feel like are there worse things on that wheel that could get you?
What else is on the wheel?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to stay with Eddie Murphy?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, seems like
Love it.
he's going to stay with it. And so we bring back Jader Paramo. And
That
Tom,
could be a rough category.
ready to go. Once again, Jader can steal only if
Eddie
Tom
Murphy?
misses a question.
I think Tom
has
probably
a
knows it.
choice. All three JTE rules remain. So here we go, Tom. I'll be asking you your Eddie Murphy questions for 2 points.
Jader's in the best position possible after that first
Co-stars
match,
with Eddie
first round,
Murphy
though.
As Robert K. Bowfinger.
Steve Martin.
1999
Martin.
Bowfinger.
Steve Martin.
2 points, and we're tied at the top. 9 points.
Who else
apiece.
was in Bowfinger?
Move on to the next question.
Steve Martin.
Who directed Eddie Murphy in the Rudy Ray Moore biopic, Dolomite
Ooh.
is My Name?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Frank Oz, B, Eddie Murphy, C, Bruce Beresford, or D,
I
Fred
think
Brewer?
it's Frank Oz. Actually.
No.
You sure?
It's C or D.
D is correct.
Oh.
And
Well,
he's
for some,
got-
why,
No,
for
it's
some
not
reason I was
Frank
like,
Oz.
For the
Yeah,
moment,
for some
as
reason I
we
was like,
move on to his next
why do I
question.
feel like Frank Oz actually did it?
And
It's weird.
Query. Tom, Eddie Murphy plays Chandler Jarrell, who is informed that he is the chosen one in what 1986 film?
The Golden Child.
That is correct for 2 more points, and it seems to be a good move that he stayed with this category, Jen.
Absolutely. Jader's just nodding emphatically. Really spoiling the suspense on these answers.
Sorry. All right, and here comes Tom's last question in the world of Eddie Murphy movies for 2 more points. Who voices King Harold, Fiona's father, in Shrek 2?
John Cleese.
Yeah.
Is that the best Shrek?
That's out of nowhere.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Rupert Everett?
It's 'cause Eddie
B,
Murphy was in that
Antonio
movie.
Banderas,
Yeah.
C, Cleese, or D, John Lithgow?
I completely did not think you'd get a Shrek question.
Cleese.
Yep.
Is correct for another point, and ladies and gentlemen,
There
all
you
of a
go.
sudden, Tom is storming back, surviving that perfect round by Jader Paramo, and now he posts a 4-point lead, all on his own.
Jader's gotta-
13-9, and so
Wants to maintain where he's at. He's got to hit
Tom
a
out,
perfect
and we'll
round
bring in
2.
Jader and his manager Ken Knapsack.
That's
to
not that bad of a lead, though.
seconds. Go ahead.
Jader, I don't have any words of wisdom to say because you don't need
Jader gets a good category.
well researched, and this is your moment. Like I said, don't believe your own hype. Take every question as a challenge to prove what you already know about yourself. All right. And also, let's wrap this up because Grace and I are going to go McFlurry's, get McFlurry's with in my Mustang with the top down. So just get through it. All right.
I get the W. You got me one? You
Yeah.
can get me one?
M&M's. Yeah.
You're the man. Thank you.
All right. And
I
here
would like
comes
some
Jader.
Reese's Pieces, please.
Is in as soon as Jader thinks really hard. Well, it already happened.
I'm still good with these.
Yeah, no, Reese's Pieces are definitely the superior peanut butter candy.
You
All right, well, it's not
can
gonna be
take
Eddie
your opinion
Murphy's
and
choice,
shove
so
off.
it's 80s. That is, I believe, the 1980s, Jen. So
Reese's
Jader,
Pieces
Ken,
are
how do you
the
feel about
superior
that?
candy.
Look, it was not the decade I was born in, Jader, but it was a good one.
Yeah. Definitely one out.
What are we doing?
Musical chairs.
Okay. Wants to
All right.
three mulligan.
It's so much
And
fun.
that's the thing about like slices like the 80s, they just tend to be really broad categories that sometimes younger competitors want to get away from.
Every movie in the 1980s is at bay. And that is
Oh,
oh no, he flew a little too close to the sun there. And so now we bring back Grace.
Dance movies coming
and
up.
Tom, and
All right,
it looks
Icarus.
like it's coming up the den in round number 2. So, ladies and
Dancer
gentlemen,
Western.
which category do you want to saddle Jader the Hurricane Paramo with?
Probably. I mean, listen. He just spun
Give
away
him
from
the 80s.
So
He's scared of the 80s.
okay.
Okay, is that the final?
do that too.
answer?
Well, how do you want it said, Mark? Give us the script. What do you want us to say? We both just said the 80s. What more clarification do you need, pal?
Just-
Grace, you say, Grace, you say the 80s.
Ah,
If he listens to you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we're gonna go with the 80s, Mark.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to go with the 80s.
Selected the 1980s for their 2-point question each
Look what you did, Mark. You got everyone up in arms.
in round number 2. And it's, hey, I'm running the ship without Christian, and it all goes to, we're all turning this car around,
We're
damn
just
it.
bailing water out of this.
it all goes to, we're turning the car around. Just quickly shifting off of that phrase.
To Jader for the 1980s.
It all
All right,
goes to
guys,
ship is
let's get
sinking
started.
right
In the
now.
category of 80s, Jader, here's your first question. Who directed the 1984 film Starman?
Moon Man.
What?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. Is it A, Peter Hyams,
Fight your way through it.
B, George Miller,
Starman.
Joe Dante.
C,
Joe
John
Dante.
Carpenter, or D, Joe Dante?
D.
That is incorrect. So for 1 point steal opportunity, the question and options will be re-asked to Tom.
All right, Tom, who directed the 1984 film Starman? Is it A, Peter Hyams, B, George Miller, C, John Carpenter, or D, Joe Dante?
John Carpenter.
That is correct
Yeah.
for a huge 1 point.
Okay, I feel stupid on that one.
Point advantage. Tom and Jen. Jader now has to get every question correct right off the bat.
Even with the multiple choice, I didn't think John Carpenter.
All right, Jader, moving on to your next question. In The Terminator, from what year did the Terminator travel back in time to
Ooh.
Sarah Connor?
Multiple choice.
That's
I need to
numbers.
hear it.
Numbers.
All right, is
Yeah.
it A, 2025,
35?
B, 2029, C, 2035,
It's probably 35. Yeah.
I want to say 35.
Is it B?
That is correct.
Yeah, it's
You
2029.
got it, and that's a
29.
big answer. Tom,
9 more years until the robot apocalypse, y'all.
Absolutely.
At this point, I believe it's going to happen.
In The Princess Bride, who
Mandy
plays
Patinkin.
Inigo
Mandy
Montoya?
Patinkin. Yep.
Multiple
I
choice.
ain't gonna miss that one.
Is it A, Chris Sarandon,
Nope.
B, Peter Cook,
Nope.
C, Mandy Patinkin,
C.
D, Christopher Guest?
Nope.
B.
is incorrect. So once again, Tom is going to have the option to steal. He's going to hear the question and options.
All right, Tom, ready? It's in The Princess Bride, who plays Inigo Montoya? Is it A, Chris Sarandon, B, Peter Cook, C, Mandy Patinkin, or D, Christopher Guest?
Mandy Patinkin.
That is correct for another huge
Huge
Once
steal.
again,
Ooh.
5-point game here, 15 to 10.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
All right, Jader, your final
You
question.
keep
is
using
in
that
the
word.
category
I
of
don't think it means what you
1980s.
think it means.
What is the profession of Mel Gibson's character in the 1983 war drama, The Year of Living Dangerously?
See why he spun away.
Nope.
Multiple choice.
Yep.
Is it A, photographer, B, pilot, C, doctor, or D, reporter?
All four of those are good choices if you don't know the movie.
I would have said like pilot.
Repeat the multiple choice one more time, please.
All right. Is it A, photographer, B, pilot, C, doctor, or D, reporter?
Photographer.
Unfortunately incorrect. And so, Tom, once again, you're going to hear the question and the
Jeez.
options for another big 1-point steal.
Tom, for the 1-point steal, what is the profession of Mel Gibson's character in the 1983 war drama, The Year of Living Dangerously? Is it A, photographer, B, pilot, C, doctor, or D, reporter?
Reporter.
Another
I want to watch this.
steal in one of the best round twos that we've seen a competitor have in this tournament, Jen. And so Tom now with a 16-10 lead, completely flipping the tables on Jader Paramo, who got saddled with opponent's choice.
Jeez.
Tom stuck him with 1980s.
It's the,
and that is the result.
once
So
again,
6-point lead for
the
Tom
wheel
as we head into
decided what
round
it
number
wanted
3. So we'll bring
today.
the managerial teams back in for the reading of the rules for round number 3, and they are
Oof.
as such. Each competitor is going to
So if you watched our reaction with Brendan Meyer last night, we're talking about going into round 3 with that 6-point difference is kind of like the range, the bare end of the range that you want to be at. That's what we're going into.
Tom now has a 6-point lead.
Typically
Heading into round
clutch.
number 3, Tom, you're going to give us your 3 numbers first. So from 1 to
Unless
20,
you're in a
what
Schmoedown
feels-
throwdown in a title match, and
2.
Yeah,
He's gonna.
this is kind of a bit of a concern, but
Oh boy.
like I work at a retail store where they require masks on, and I completely forget to ask to tell people they need to be wearing a mask before they come into our store right now. So I wonder if it's like the same thing. It's just you're just not picking up on it.
Just spacing
Yeah.
on it.
13, 18, and 6.
All right, so the numbers are in, and now we're going to have the managers consult with their competitors. So up first, it's going to be Tom getting to talk to both Kate and Grace. 60 seconds are all yours.
Okay. Hey, Tom, look, it's a hollowed out bear. Good boy. Here, buddy.
Ma'am.
Okay. Tom, I'm glad we got your attention. You're doing great, buddy. Listen, your worst enemy, turns out it's me. And I'm out of the way now, pal. Okay? So you just keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to win this thing.
Why would
You
you
know-
do that to me?
Okay. I didn't mean to do that to you. Okay? I did not.
Where's the bear?
Oh, that's what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about how I messed up your entire first round. You were talking about the bear. Listen, to win this thing, I will send it to you, buddy, okay?
Can I come?
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, is Tom secretly Roxy?
Oh, is
All right.
it?
Got about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Well, okay, and that is 60 seconds for Tom. Quite the pep talk and the receipt from Tom. And now Ken Knapsack's going to talk to Jader for the same allotted time. Ken, it's all yours.
Jader, you cannot change what cannot be changed. It's not your fault that, unlike me, you weren't born when Eisenhower was president, and therefore you lived the age. Move past it. We're still here. Perfect. 3 perfect answers here. You got 10 points. You're in the lead. You already picked Dan Marino's number, so you're on the right path. Be within yourself. Be present. Don't look behind you.
That's a Florida
Only look
reference.
Forward.
Thanks, boss.
All right. Inspiring words as always from
Florida man is playing Schmoedown today.
That's that Florida
Round
purpose
number
porpoises
3. I'll be
football team,
administering
right?
Both sets of questions
Yeah.
here. Jader selected number 13, as Ken indicated, for his 2-point question. That is Dan Marino's legendary number in
Get ready.
Miami. Jader, for 2 points, to cut the lead to 4, you selected the category of directors. And your question. Robert Zemeckis directed Steve Carell in his 2018
Welcome to
Marwin.
Marwin. Yeah. I was like Marshall, Marden,
Marwin.
Yeah.
5, 4.
Welcome to Critically Panned movie.
Okay, welcome to Marwin.
He got it just in the nick of time for 2 big points. And I cut the lead to 4, but we're going to stick with Jader for his
Sad, it looked good
now.
too.
So Jader,
Yeah.
corner you said number 18. And Peyton Manning's number corresponds to Will Smith movies. Will Smith.
Woo! Ha ha.
3 points. Which Will Smith film features Lara Flynn Boyle and
Black 2.
Black 2. Dang, that's
Men in Black 2.
It is, and that is 3
that was
points,
almost tricky.
And he's all of a sudden within 1 of Tom's lead, so he can avoid a TKO.
Because the third one is Jermaine Clement.
If he gets this 5-pointer correct.
Yeah, Jermaine Clement. Yeah.
Absolutely. Jader, pulling for you, man.
All right, well, Jader did select a category
Take a
that
deep
we
breath.
Agree to
round
disagree.
number 1, but it's very serious now. So I'll say comedy is the category, and Jader, for 5 points, to avoid the TKO and to force Tom's hand. Your question.
There's his hand.
What is the name of the nightclub that
Ooh.
Cameron Diaz performs at in 1994's The Mask?
The Coco Bongo.
Yeah.
Jader is correct, and Tom is now going to have to answer some questions.
Wow. Wow, that was a great pull.
Impressive.
That was pretty incredible stuff there from Jader. Let's see if
Way
Tom
to
can
go,
answer. So,
Jader.
Tom, you selected number 2 for your 2-point question. And that
I
is
thought it was like Coco something. I was like,
of
No TKO today.
And your question. 2 points, and to pull to within 2, Jader's lead. Who plays the hot-headed gangster Nicky Santoro in Martin Scorsese's-
Pesci. Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
He's cut the lead in half to 2, and Jen, it's a 3-point question coming at Tom.
Here it
If he
comes.
gets it right, he will advance to the Elite 8 of the Ultimate Schmoedown Tournament.
Absolutely. And then if he misses, he goes to his 5-pointer, obviously.
He certainly does. He's
Ooh,
gonna
Tom with 2 questions left is.
You selected 3.
It's a tight one.
According to your manager,
It's a tight one.
Counts.
No.
Seems right to me.
No.
3-point question.
Homeschooling's hard, Mark. Homeschooling's hard.
We're all doing it. Tom, your category is thriller. Thriller movies for the win. And your question. Who played Michael Douglas's wife in Fatal
Glenn Close.
Ann Archer.
And you're
Oh, never mind.
advancing to round 3 of the Ultimate Schmoedown
Jeez.
Wow.
All right, so the
bear now?
Bear, you're gonna get the bear, buddy. You're gonna get the hollowed out bear. You're gonna
Was this
get it,
Midsummer?
buddy.
The 21-20 victory.
You know what?
Tom.
You
We
motivate your
welcome-
players any way you can. You know, Mark, when you're a coach, that's what you got to do.
You really do. And we do start with the coaches here. Kate, I know it seems like you really beat yourself up after round 1. And I think I speak for a lot of the fans where you may be, once again, being a little too hard on yourself. Is there a
No,
side relief now?
Listen, the bottom line is I don't care if Tom wins or loses. I don't want him to look bad, and I made him look bad. That's the thing. So for me, I don't. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
great.
that's where I got confused
What
at.
we want, right? But I don't want him to look bad in the process. And the fact that I'm talking to him and he misses something that he definitely knew, and then he doesn't get a perfect. Listen, that's on me, and that's not me being too hard on myself. That's me just trying to straighten the record so that Tom looks as good as he actually is. He knew Kevin Hart. I was talking to him. He wanted to challenge because he knew those other directors on Sin City. And I'm too big of an idiot to know that I should have challenged that. I didn't know if it was, I didn't know. If you guys giggled. I'm like, is this a bit? I don't know.
It was a lot, but now we made it through here. And so,
Interesting.
Tom, you got to feel good about going to the Elite 8 and possibly being one win away.
The thing
from
is Tom won the match anyways, which means, like, in hindsight, challenging it would have been fruitless. But
Oh my God.
Okay, Jen, you want to try this one?
Could have led to a TKO potentially.
Yeah, extra points for the faction, absolutely. But
and someone's record. I don't know. I don't know if that actually would have changed for the TKO or not.
You have to be motivated
Because he got all three of his. Jader got all three of his last questions, so I don't think it actually would have been a TKO regardless.
Maybe not, because we don't have those Peter rights. I don't know what the hell is going on in this post interview at this point. But Tom, were you a little bit nervous, obviously, after everything that happened in round 1? Moving into round 2, how did you guys regroup in that moment?
You can spread a bear on PETA.
He's talking PITA. So
I got that.
Ew.
Tell me he doesn't know a lot, you know.
I'm gonna go with ew.
I don't know. I hear some people do eat bear, so I don't know.
Hey, meat spread there. Grace, final question goes to you because we were talking pre-show about the Den possibly making a magical run in this tournament and getting up to the elite level of factions. Is Tom the guy that is going to lead you to the promised land and possibly by the end of the season competing against the top-tiered factions?
I mean, yeah, like I said, like there's a reason that Tom is our last singles player. He's scrappy. He's weird. He may currently right now be in the promised land. We're not sure, and that's part of the fun. And we're very much looking forward to this. Like I said, some hurricane, no pink hoodie had any effect on anything today. That was maybe a rough round 1, but then look what we did after that. Like, Tom is unstoppable, just like the Den.
Okay, well, the Den certainly unstoppable here today. Tom, an amazing round number 2 and coming through when he needed to and the most in round number 3 for a 21-20 victory. Congratulations to the Den, Kate and Grace, and to Tom, who I'm sure does not understand congratulations. But we will say goodbye to them, and we do welcome.
I'm waiting for Tom to be like, no, I do. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Jader, the Hurricane Paramo, and Ken Knapsack of the Burning Grooves. Jader, got to start with you. You had a perfect round number 1. You looked fresh. You looked ready to go. And then that.
I understood that. Congratulations. I really appreciate it, Mark. You're great at your job. Thank you.
I hate that wheel.
Sometimes you love it. Sometimes you hate it. It just.
Yeah, that wheel is what did Jader in on this one.
Because I somehow know all the questions when I'm watching it from my living
room. The wheel
side.
is a fickle mistress.
I felt like he gave me literally the
it's
one
a sweet balancer of fates.
You know, and that obviously you guys saw that.
The great equalizer.
Yeah, that's the word.
Ken's advice with going first. Had I gotten Eddie Murphy, I would have gotten I was nodding the answers like yes, he got it right because I knew every single one of his questions. It was the one slice I did not want. But you know, perfect round 1, perfect round 3. I fought my hardest. 21-20. I can't be mad against Tom.
That's a good point. That's really good amount of points on the board against Tom.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Jader's season might be.
Over this. Like you said,
well, actually, it's not done. He's got teams tournament, but while his singles tourney
different circumstances
run might be done.
I think that if anything,
and even if he loses in the teams tournament, he ain't going nowhere.
Turn it into a study guide for what they.
You ain't going nowhere. But Wendy's.
Yeah, we got work to do. I definitely got work to do. I promise you.
Why Wendy's? I don't know. That's honestly like a quote from some random kid in high school, and it's just always stuck in my mind. He would always go, "You're not going nowhere." But Wendy's.
From that. Google it, guys. It's on Wikipedia.
I don't know if he pulled it from something.
And you're thrown into this scenario where it's like you're learning on the fly. You're learning from in-game.
It's like a random Wendy's ad with Macho Man.
Just cannot be matched, especially when we're in these new circumstances playing online.
I got you for 3 minutes.
Definitely. And again, it's so
playtime. Playtime.
Being part of that Elite 8 was something that I was like, for rookie season was here, but I gave it all I got. I really did. I can't wait to come back.
Bonesaw is ready.
You got to be proud of what the Hurricane has accomplished today, and perfect round here at number 1.
The wordplay, just
what do you
I quit.
Let the world know about what he means to your squad, the Burning Grooves?
We found Garth's
regarding that
natural
second round,
talent.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Jader's got to go with his heart. He's got to go with what he feels. I feel you never want to put your fate into the hands of someone else. Go first, go out of the gate, go
I don't think my
strong.
pun
That's
game
not
will
what this
ever
is
be
about today.
on the same
Look,
level.
In 1995, Derek Jeter got 15 games, 48 at bats, batted .250 for the New York Yankees. No one paid attention. 1996, he makes the squad. He goes on to the Hall of Fame. Now he owns a baseball team riddled with virus. Dreams can happen. I remember when Jennifer was watching football games in a stand. And look where she is now, a talented writer and a comic and a great value.
Working from my living room. Yes.
We're all doing that, Jen. We're all doing that. I don't have on pants. So what I'm going to take from this is Jader's not done. The future is bright, no matter if I'm his manager or not. On the other side, Tom
God, I love
is
Ken.
exactly what I thought he was. A talent.
I keep forgetting that I don't have to wear pants on this either, but
questions like no one else. He knows this stuff, and he overcame a little bit of a hiccup,
as far as like if I'm gonna like get up and do a joke where I lay on my bed behind me.
From her
We also live in the same
job at
apartment,
the
so
Donald J. Stevens Rosemont Civic Center. All right, she doesn't have to go back to that hellhole.
least had to
yet.
throw them
Pants
on
would
before
be
you
appreciated.
Grace took some shots at me. You know, I was going to finish the laundry out there tonight. Maybe not so much. That's rough to work out. But
Red thing with all of her laundry. You'll never have to do it again, Ken.
yeah, there you go. You know, Jennifer, good to see you here. Mark, good match. We're heartbroken, but we move forward.
Absolutely,
All right, well,
absolutely, and
Matt,
kudos to Tom. He did a phenomenal job.
Great sportsmanship, even in defeat with Jader Paramo and Ken Knapsack for the
You
Burning
love to
Group.
see it. You love to see it when two players can congratulate each other and just work together in that regard, like, and just cheer each other on, despite whether or not they won or lost.
Yeah, and I think you see that play itself out in this match because there is a respect that Tom and, if he can use that word, and Jader gained for each other in this match. I mean, look, you're both competing for the same thing. Unfortunately,
entirely
one can
certain
take
Tom
it, but
knew
a
what's
good
going on at
match
all, but
here
okay.
today. How far can Tom go in the tournament? That question remains to be answered. But Jen, if you had to speculate, do you think Tom
We'll
has
talk
the-
about that here in a second.
I think Tom has the goods. And look, I really, really felt for Kate during that first round. I think that she always tries to do right
Dude,
by her
Andres,
players.
spoilers.
And
Oh, wait, we've already seen that. Never mind, Andres.
Be a manager, an effective manager in this league. And those are things that are just going to happen.
It's that
You're
weird
gonna
dichotomy
stumble
where
from
he
time
hasn't
to
watched the
time, but
match
I
yet.
think
He happens
that
to
Tom's
turn on
willingness to
ours
play
right when
through
Jader
that
loses, and
and
we
to
inevitably spoiled it for
coming out
him.
on
We
top,
spoil it
I
for
think
him.
all you have to have because he doesn't get rattled when he's down.
In a world.
I've been stumbling since I started doing
By
this
the way,
show. I don't
Andres,
have
you can
any
play along.
problem
It's fine.
doing it for another 10 years, God willing, 20 years, 100 years. Who the hell knows how long I'll be around the movie trivia Schmoedown, but I do appreciate everybody out there watching. All of our patrons, shout out to you. Thanks for supporting us day in and day out around this place.
Yep.
Everyone watching
Oh,
our
that's right.
on
Yep.
Facebook
This was
page.
the
And
last one of
wherever
each
you enjoy your podcast. And check out Jen and
each
Brad right now.
faction. This was
And
their
yep,
last player.
week to come every Monday. Jen, it was a pleasure as always to call the match with you. Where can all the folks out there find you and all the
My
wonderful
head
things
hurts.
with other humans and more importantly with your adorable animals?
Like you said, every
Yeah, where can we
Monday,
find
Brad and I
Kevin?
are going to be breaking down the upcoming matches of the week for you guys.
There's
Cheat
something
Time
moving behind her.
Still working it
Is it
out.
Kevin?
It's
Is it Kevin?
an ongoing process, but you can catch me Monday through
Mas
Friday
Kevin, por
with my
favor.
husband Cody Decker and our friend Ethan on Swings and Misses on the radio.com sports.
Oh, you're
Digital
giving him a
network,
heads up by
or
saying it's
on
the three
Twitter or
directors.
Yeah.
Twitch. We're moving into
You have to
the,
ask him who directed
moving
Sin
into
City.
whatever century we're in now. I've lost count. It feels like I've been living in my apartment for years at this point. So catch us there Monday through Friday, guys, and then obviously All Elite Wrestling every Thursday. But actually, you can always say, like, just check my Twitter because right now there's a lot of stuff going on right now with the playoffs. We get moved around a little bit in the schedule. So
Hey, I don't even know what month it is. All I know is that
Moving
I'm
on.
Mark Elliott, for Jen Sturger and our amazing tech team behind the scenes. Thanks for making us look okay. Baby Carrots saying thanks for watching the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Yeah. You see all the videos I'm watching right now. Boom. There you go.
Garth McMurray, Robert Rodriguez, Frank Miller.
Robert Rodriguez.
Boom.
Anyway.
But Tarantino only directed one scene yet.
So, yeah, that was that a good match? Jader really put up a good fight there, though.
You have to give Jader credit. going up against someone like Tom, which Tom was like coming out of last season, everyone looked at Tom as the thing everyone said about Tom is like, dude, I want to see him go through a singles tournament.
Yep.
Now he is going through a singles tournament. This is something everybody was talking about last season. And for Jader to go up against Tom in a singles tournament, knowing full well that this could be like Tom's home for the next couple of weeks or so, he played very well against Tom. He didn't look like he was flinched at all by it. Just completely unfazed, eyes on the prize, and that's really good.
He said it from the beginning. You know, you look at the game tape on Tom, you really can't find too many weaknesses. There's not too many holes that you can see in his game. And so Jader went in it with the right mindset. Jader didn't lose by really any doing of his own. He went in knowing what he had to do, and he did it. He studied him for himself. He went in really focused on just knowing what he knows, playing the game the best he can. What lost it for him was the opponent's choice. If he didn't spend opponent's choice, then man, he would. If Jader got a strength, we could be having a completely different conversation right now.
But what I like about a situation like this is that now Jader has had 80s put in his face, a category he didn't want. And now everybody knows Jader is not that well versed on 80s. That is a prime opportunity. As a player, I would be immediately diving into 80s. In fact, I'm willing to bet he's studying for this game. I bet he dived into 80s and he's already working on being well versed at it before this match even aired today.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. The next time he plays someone's like, oh, it's Jader. Give him 80s, and he's gonna be like, nope. You thought that was a weakness. Fix that real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
So Andres is joining us here at the end. Did that Sin City question play into the match? Yes, it did, because they asked who was the director of Sin City, in which Jader answered only Robert Rodriguez, when it was technically the three of them, Frank Miller and Tarantino.
Again, going back to that, I would argue then at that case, given that Garth is even bringing up that IMDb credits all three, I would argue that who is the first credited? Is it Robert Rodriguez? Because I believe it's Robert Rodriguez on that. So the question is worded, who directed Sin City 3? It didn't say which directors directed Sin City 3. It's not asking. You could argue that the question is not asking for multiple names. It's asking for one, in which case you would go with the first credited director. So there's that too.
Yeah. And again, that one is a very difficult one, just because there was a lot of controversy around that, with Robert Rodriguez losing his Directors Guild membership because of that, because they weren't allowed to have more than one director. He was fighting for him and Frank Miller to direct that movie together, and that's what cost him the Directors Guild membership. That's not even taking into account that Tarantino directed the one scene for $1. So
I'll direct that for $1.
That's what he did. So yeah, that was a very tricky question. Absolutely, that could have been challenged, and they would have won that challenge had that actually gone through with it.
But see, the problem is that the Russo brothers are typically credited together
as the Russo brothers, like the Wachowskis.
So that's typically why in that case they would be one unit that you would answer as. So,
and I believe that's probably how they're registered under the Directors Guild as well. They're registered as the Russo brothers, much like the Wachowskis were.
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, they are one autonomous directing unit.
I think this honestly is a situation where you could answer Robert Rodriguez and it's going to be correct. You could answer all three of them. Challenge could be upheld or it could not. It's a situation where if the Den challenged it, I feel like that Jader wouldn't lose the point, but the Den also wouldn't lose the challenge. I think it would be one of those rare situations where it's like it can be argued either way, and because you're technically correct with your challenge, but he's also technically correct with his answer, we have to award him the point, but you still get to keep that challenge. So that could have been
that's a very tricky one.
Yeah.
And it's always Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. They're at the center of these, like the Grindhouse question. I mean, theoretically, both of them directed Grindhouse, but they directed their own individual movies, and that's not even including all the directors they had doing the fake trailers. So, oof.
So in that situation, if they ask who directed Grindhouse, while again, you could argue that the question is still asking for one individual with the term who, it would be hard to say, it would be hard to argue anything other than Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. Now, obviously, if they ask who directed Planet Terror, well, you answer only one. You don't answer both of them for that one. So,
yeah. And specifically for Grindhouse, we do have the precedent set that they have already asked about Grindhouse.
Yeah.
I feel like I was there for that one. I love that question, by the way. That came up and I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, like Garth is asking who directed Captain Marvel. Now the thing is Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, not very prominent yet. I think Captain Marvel is their jumping off point. So I don't know if they're actually registered as as a directing duo like the Wachowskis, like the Russos,
or if they're still individuals,
the Coens and stuff like that. Yeah, just if they register as a directing duo with the Directors Guild, then that makes sense. Yeah. In which case, if that question comes up and you were to only answer Anna Boden, you'd get it wrong. The difference is Robert Rodriguez, Frank Miller, and Quentin Tarantino, between the three of them, are not registered as a part of the Directors Guild. So therefore, they are considered three separate directors of that one movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, we could talk about this probably all night. I would be okay with it, and I'd have fun.
I'm also curious to see what the conversation about that's going to be like, because I know it's gonna be on at least the Facebook page later. So I'll be interested in seeing what other individuals are saying about the topic too, and seeing if any of them are seeing some of the same things, or if they come up with something completely different that we're not thinking about here too. So it'll be fun. But either way, yeah, like we said, Droogs are done. That's no more Droogs in the singles tournament. So that's kind of a big deal, because they had some really solid players with Alonzo, I think Whitney, Jader, and then Bonnie Somerville also. So I mean, they had a really good crew going into the tournament. It's just they lucked out against some of the other people they were up against, apparently. Yeah. I mean, you also got Bonnie, who was in a play-in. So
I am slightly disappointed that we didn't get more Grace versus Ken.
Yeah.
On this, I think that was a prime opportunity. Both of them are really good at their trash talking, and I think that would have been a lot of fun to see. But I also kind of understand that, like, they really haven't had to do that before. So,
well, also there's a situation where I think outside of pandemic, a normal season, which would have been shot in studio, probably could have played up a storyline between them a little bit more. But because we're all virtual here, they did what they can do. What I do like, though, is Ken's fun little she's in the other room. We're gonna go get some burgers after this. It's fine.
Yeah. That she bought me the pink hoodie that she's complaining about. That was funny.
That was some fun. I love that.
Yeah, but I feel like I was wanting a little bit more type of out of it. So yeah. Lioness
comes out and claws at Ken.
Maybe hopefully we see something a little bit more if they end up having to face down each other in the teams tournament as well. So here's hoping. Anyways, fantastic match. It's kind of funny. I was saying at the beginning of this that I think Tom would have the edge just by a little. He won by 1 point.
Oh, without answering his fifth 5-pointer, sure.
So once again, we're good at predicting how these things are going to go. If y'all would like winning lottery numbers, feel free to drop a question about that to the streamlabs.com/fanatics. By the way, if y'all have any other questions, we're going to be wrapping this up. So get those questions into the chat real quick.
Is a Streamlab to find out the winning lottery numbers essentially an investment into your winnings?
Which is a tax write-off.
Nice. Probably don't recommend asking about the lottery, but almost nearly anything else.
Because I'm going to refund your money. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to be held liable for the lack of winning that you will inevitably sustain based on whatever numbers we give you.
Apparently, that's a really hard game to win. I don't know. I don't play.
Haven't even tried. Anyway, what else is happening in the Schmoedown? I know we're in round 2 now, so we've got this week and next week is round 2, and then we're into round 3, which apparently is the Elite 8. So I believe once they go to round 3, it is back to 2 episodes of Schmoedown, 2 matches a week. So that will be the end of our every night streaming thing, which I love the Schmoedown, but I'm ready for.
We could touch upon this real quick, is that that means Tom is now going to play whoever wins between Ethan Irwin and Eric Zipper.
Ooh.
Good luck with that. It's going to be interesting.
I don't know what's going on with my throat right now, but I'm choking on something. Anyway.
I want to see Zipper just like completely just mow some fools down type of thing.
Yeah.
Like just tear through Ethan Irwin, tear through Tom. That will be something that,
here's the thing.
That'll be a sight to behold.
Here's the thing. First of all, that gives Eric, that would give Zipper the comeback player of the year for sure. Yeah. 2, does that put him in contention for player of the year? Because I know right now Chance is pretty on top of that at the moment. But now if you have Zipper running through the rest of this tournament, do you see the fight for player of the year between Chance and Zipper?
Well, some of that's going to depend on what happens tomorrow night when Chance Ellison is going to be facing down Liz Shannon Miller, which, speaking of which, for the Schmoedown replay, join us again tomorrow night. What is tomorrow's Wednesday? So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Time, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. We will be doing the replay to that. We will be joined by a person this time, not just the 2 of us. We will be joined by Liz Shannon Miller. Yeah. This is a fantastic special guest for this, because I'm eager. I don't think anyone's really heard of Liz Shannon Miller's like thoughts since she came into this game. And again, she was highly recommended by Ethan Irwin and Ethan Irwin's wife.
Yep.
So I am eager to like get like some behind the scenes of Liz Shannon Miller, because I don't know. This is going to be great. I'm eager
to be a good one. Shut up. You've been talking enough. It's going to be a good one.
I do that sometimes. You put a camera in front of me. There's a microphone. I talk. Anyways, you were saying.
Yeah, so this one tomorrow is going to be really great with Liz Shannon Miller coming on board and hanging out with us. I'm looking forward to chatting with her, not only about her experiences coming into the Schmoedown here, but all sorts of stuff, her experiences on swag, all this. How is Winston as a manager for her? Like, there's just so much. There's so much to be able to get into on this one.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. It's gonna be fun.
Yep. So that's tomorrow night. Gonna have a lot of fun. Really, you don't say. A lot of fun on that one. As for this, fantastic match as always. There's no such thing as the Schmoedown ever disappointing. Ever.
Not really, no. Yeah.
Like, even a disappointing match is still an entertaining match.
Yeah, because even a disappointing match gives you great things like wishing for the return of El Mayembe.
Wow, you went far back with that.
Went deep.
Yeah. I was thinking more of like my other like brothers at arms, the only stupid answers.
Yeah.
I really, in all circumstances, I really do hope to see them again. So
we'll see. I mean, as long as they want to play and they're open to being in the draft, I don't see them necessarily as a team that you are is really in danger of being completely split up unless the manager just wants one over the other. But I mean,
I would like to see them come in, and I want to see them like just tear through. Like between the last time we saw them and the next time they play, they have like they've gone like super crazy on studying, and then they just come through and tear through an entire tournament. That would be hilarious.
It's like Bill and Ted going to the future and seeing themselves in prison completely like jacked up.
I'm not mentioning my match. I am mentioning them as brothers in arms because
I got a little splash out of that one.
Anyways, maybe. I get it. I'll take a drink here in a minute. I'm kind of like out. Thanks,
Garth. Drink air. Anyway, so I think that's gonna cover it. What's coming up? I know the teams tournament's coming up too, so that's gonna be fun. We kind of talked about that before, but yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Gonna be some good matchups. Yeah.
I think when they actually release like the bracket for the teams match, we'll probably do a live stream where we talk about it, kind of like we did a live stream about the singles. We'll do one for the teams as well. So
we know how the play-in match is right now, but that's about the extent of the bracket that we really know. So
yeah. Anyways, so come back again tomorrow night. Join us, Schmoedown replay with Liz Shannon Miller. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up because I don't see any other questions, nothing else in the Streamlabs. So, yep, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So, make sure you follow us. We are at Cinefanatics MLP, at Chris Adams MLP, Robert Adams MLP. I had it up for like 5 minutes before you clicked on it.
It's right there.
Lights.
It's right there.
Anyways, go follow us on the social media at those. That is our addresses at both Twitter and Instagram. And yes, Yodi for Chronic. Since you flash up the Yodi for Chronic, yes, definitely give him that award. And we are the Cinnamon Fanatics. I do want some cinnamon. Ooh.
We're serious about our cinnamon.
I would like a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart in the morning. That sounds good. Or cinnamon rolls. Anyways, follow us on the social media at all those places. Join us, patreon.com/cinefanatics. This coming Saturday, we are doing our movie watch along. It is going to be Iron Man 2. We have made a decision. It is available for streaming. We have checked on this. Iron Man 2 this Saturday. So warm up those DVDs, those Blu-rays, or your Disney Plus subscription. Come join us at the $10 tier. We're going to have a lot of fun with that one.
Warm that Disney Plus subscription.
Warm up that Disney Plus subscription. Just
warm up the D Plus. Warm the D Plus up.
Wait, really? Really? This would be like I would say that and you'd get after me.
It's Disney Plus. That's what D Plus.
Get out of your head. The D Plus is exactly what Captain America is thinking as well.
Oh, hey! This is a Schmoedown replay. We're gonna catch up.
Anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight. Come back, join us tomorrow night. Follow us on social media. Also, Tuesday nights we do have the tagline, the show where the tagline is the title. We did it earlier tonight, had a lot of fun, some good discussion on there. So if you didn't watch that earlier, go back, watch that, and then join us next Tuesday for the tagline there. Anyways, there's all of our information again. Make sure you follow us and join us on everything we're doing. We will see y'all tomorrow night. Y'all all have a great night. As for my brother, words. Thank y'all for joining us. All of y'all in the chat, thank you for joining us tonight. Exactly. That kind of a face. Yeah, awkward at its best. Thank you for joining us. We very much appreciate y'all being here. As for my brother, as for myself, y'all have a great evening and good night. Rolling the beautiful bean footage.
Roll it. I'm an idiot.